Let us look at some of the sights in Copenhagen. Tivoli Gardens is an amusement park and gardens located in the heart of Copenhagen. It opened in 1843 and is the second oldest amusement park in the world. The park features a variety of rides, gardens, and attractions, including roller coasters, a Ferris wheel, and a carousel. The Little Mermaid statue. The Little Mermaid statue is a bronze statue based on the fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. The statue is located at the Langelinie Promenade and is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Copenhagen. The statue depicts a mermaid sitting on a rock, looking out to sea. The statue was created by sculptor Edvard Eriksson and was unveiled in 1913. Nyhavn is a colorful 17th-century waterfront, canal, and entertainment district in the heart of Copenhagen. The area is lined with brightly colored townhouses, which have been converted into cafes, restaurants, and pubs. It is a popular spot for locals and tourists alike, and is known for its lively atmosphere. Boat tours of the canal are also available. The Royal Palace of Amalienborg is the residence of the Danish royal family. It is located in a large square in the heart of Copenhagen, and consists of 4 identical Rococo-style palaces. The palace is open to the public, and visitors can take a tour of the palace, including the royal apartments and the palace chapel. The Round Tower. The Round Tower is a 17th-century tower with an internal spiral ramp leading to an observation deck. The tower is located in the heart of the city and offers panoramic views of Copenhagen. The tower also houses an astronomy museum, which tells the history of Danish astronomy, and the observatory at the top of the tower is open to the public. Rosenberg Castle. Rosenberg Castle is a Renaissance castle built as a summer residence for King Christian IV. The castle is located in the King's Garden, a beautiful park in the heart of Copenhagen. The castle houses the royal jewels and crowns, as well as a collection of royal art and furniture. Visitors can take a tour of the castle, including the royal apartments and the castle's beautiful gardens. The Church of Our Saviour is a Baroque church located in the Christianshavn neighborhood of Copenhagen. The church is known for its iconic spiral spire and external stairway, which visitors can climb to the top of for a panoramic view of the city. Inside, the church has beautiful frescoes and an impressive organ. Copenhagen has been a popular location for Hollywood films and other independent films in recent years. Some of them are: Copenhagen. A 28-year-old man ventures through Europe with a buddy, ending in Copenhagen, where he hopes to contact the last of his family. The Bombardment. The film is about the biggest tragedy in Denmark during World War II, the accidental bombing by RAF. The Danish Girl, the remarkable love story inspired by the lives of artists Lily Elba and Gerda Wegener. A Fortunate Man, a gifted engineer flees his austere roots to pursue wealth and success among Copenhagen's elite. As he rises through the ranks of society, the pride propelling him threatens to be his ruin. Another Round was directed by Thomas Vinterberg, which was filmed in Denmark, including in and around the city of Copenhagen. Let us look at Copenhagen in the world of literature. The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. Although it is a fairy tale, it is set in the Danish capital and its protagonist, a mermaid, lives in the waters around the city. The Curious Case of the Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. The novel is set in London and Copenhagen, following a young woman as she investigates the mysterious disappearances of her father and grandfather in the 1800s. Last Train to Helsingør is a crime novel by Danish author Heidi Amsink. It was first published in 2011. The book is set in Denmark and follows the story of a detective named Louise Rick who is trying to solve a murder case that takes place on a train from Copenhagen to Helsingør. The Architecture of Happiness by Alain de Botton. This book explores the relationship between architecture and happiness, and how the design of cities and buildings can affect our mood and well-being. It features several examples from Copenhagen and other cities in Denmark. Here is a list of celebrities and their links to Copenhagen. Giancarlo Esposito is an American actor known worldwide for playing the character Gus Fring on the television series Breaking Bad from 2009 to 2011 and federal agent Mike Giardello on the television series Homicide: Life on the Street. He was born in Copenhagen. Vigo Mortensen is an actor, author, musician and painter, best known for his role as Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He was born in New York City, but raised in Denmark and Argentina, and spent most of his childhood in Copenhagen. Mads Mikkelsen is an actor, best known for his roles in Casino Royale and Hannibal. He was born in Osterbro, a district of Copenhagen. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau is an actor, best known for his role as Jaime Lannister in the HBO series Game of Thrones. He was born in Rudkøbing, a small town in Denmark, but grew up in Tybjerg, a suburb of Copenhagen. Anders Holm is a Danish-American comedian, actor, and writer, best known for his role as Anders Holmvik in the Comedy Central series Workaholics. He was born in Aalborg, a city in Denmark, but grew up in the Osterbro district of Copenhagen. Here are some tips for tourists. Get a city pass. This will allow you to access many of the city's top attractions, such as Tivoli Gardens, the National Museum, and the Round Tower, at a discounted price. Copenhagen is known as a bike-friendly city and is home to an extensive network of bike lanes. Renting a bike is a great way to see the city and get around. Copenhagen is home to several world-class museums, including the National Museum of Denmark, the Danish Museum of Art and Design, and the National Gallery of Denmark. Copenhagen is home to several canals, and taking a boat tour is a great way to see the city from a different perspective. Danish cuisine has been heavily influenced by the sea, and seafood is a staple in many traditional dishes. Be sure to try the smørrebrød, open-faced sandwiches, and the traditional Danish pastry, wienerbrød. The weather in Copenhagen can be unpredictable, so be sure to bring layers and an umbrella. How expensive is Copenhagen as compared to other European cities? Copenhagen is considered to be relatively expensive for tourists compared to other European cities. The cost of living in Copenhagen is high, and this is reflected in the prices of accommodation, food, and transportation. Accommodation in Copenhagen can be expensive, especially in the summer months when demand is high. Prices for a hotel room can range from around $100 to $300 per night, depending on the location and quality of the hotel. Food and dining in Copenhagen can also be expensive, with prices for a meal at a mid-range restaurant ranging from around $20 to $50 per person. Transportation costs in Copenhagen are also relatively high. A single ride on the metro, bus or train costs around $3.50. Taxis are also relatively expensive, with prices starting at around $10 for a short ride. However, there are ways to save money while visiting the city, such as staying in a hostel or Airbnb instead of a hotel, or by cooking your own meals. Also, many of the city's top attractions, such as the Tivoli Gardens, the National Museum, and the Round Tower, offer discounted prices or free admission with a city pass. Some historical nuggets on Copenhagen. The city's origins. The history of Copenhagen goes back to the Viking Age, when the city was founded as a small fishing village. The name Copenhagen is thought to derive from the Old Norse words for merchant's harbor. In the 14th century, the city was hit hard by the Black Death, killing nearly half of the population. The city's population did not fully recover until the 18th century. The Battle of Copenhagen. In 1801, British naval forces attacked the city in an attempt to prevent the Danish fleet from falling into the hands of the French during the Napoleonic Wars. The attack caused significant damage to the city, and many buildings were destroyed. Occupation during World War II. During the Nazi occupation of Denmark in World War II, the city was relatively untouched by bombing and destruction. However, the Danish resistance movement played a significant role in the city's history. The best time to visit Copenhagen? The summer months of June to August are the most popular time to visit Copenhagen, as the weather is generally warm and sunny, and the city's parks and gardens are in full bloom. This is also the peak tourist season, and the city can be crowded and accommodations can be more expensive. The spring months of April to May are also a good time to visit, as the weather is mild and the city's gardens and parks are starting to come to life. This is also a less crowded time to visit, and prices for accommodations may be more reasonable. The fall months of September to November are also a great time to visit, as the weather is still mild and the city's parks and gardens are changing colors. Also, it's worth noting that many events and festivals take place in the city throughout the year, such as the Tivoli Gardens Christmas Market, the Copenhagen Jazz Festival and the Culture Night, which could make your trip more interesting and enjoyable. Thanks for watching.